Curtis, Magic is beefing with Jim Buss. I don't think Jeannie would ever say bad things about Magic like that. Coming to you pre-tape from the Best Coast Show studios. This is the Best Coast Show. I am your host, Albert Aguilera. That is my producer, Curtis Sage. Curtis, it's our first Lakers episode. It's preseason. What's on our lineup today?
We're going to talk about the Lakers' salary cap this year and next year. It did go up in the NBA, so how does that affect the Lakers? Will Kobe ever retire is something we're going to have to talk about. Does it happen this year? Does it at the end of this year? Does it happen next year? Does it happen in the middle of the year? Does it happen next year? Do the Lakers even make the playoffs this year? What's the higher number, Laker wins or Kobe games played? What about the free agent signings that we had? Will any of them make an impact? The starting five, and of course we have to talk about Jim Buss and Magic Johnson in their feud. So we should start there.
They're beefing, and I don't know why they're beefing.
I know why.
I don't know why they're beefing because I get it. The Lakers have been in shambles the last couple of years.
And people are putting the blame on Jim.
But I don't know why. I get why they're blaming Jim because no big name. You said we had free agents signed here over the summer.
Yes.
I was like, who are these guys? I have no idea who they are.
We'll talk
I'm
about
from
that
Los
in a second.
Angeles. I'm spoiled. I need championships. I need more banners hanging at Staples.
Yes.
That are either Kings banners, Laker banners, not a Taylor Swift banner because I like Taylor Swift and I listen to her music, but I don't think she deserves a banner up at Staples.
That's another show.
But T Swift, I love you. But still. It's his job as now the president of the team, to bring more banners to Staples. He brought two. People forget that, guys. He brought two banners to Staples.
Yes.
But I'm a Lakers fan. You're a Lakers fan. Like Yankee fans, we're spoiled. Yeah. We expect to win every year.
And
the
this
last
is a
years,
rebuilding.
we've sucked.
This is a rebuilding. I think Magic's frustrated, so Magic has voiced his frustration with Jim Buss, and I think Jim Buss fired back. He said, this is the quote, he said, Magic Johnson going nuts on me. It's like, really, dude? My dad made you $1 billion almost. Really? Where are you coming from? And there's I get what he's saying, but Jerry Buss didn't make that money for Magic. Magic changed the whole league. He made the money.
Well, he did, but like you said, when he came into the league, I mean, I wasn't around when he came into the league. Him going to a major market or him coming to a major market.
Yeah.
He ends up in like Minnesota if he ends up with the Knicks, obviously major market. He ends up in Minnesota.
Yeah.
He ends up in San Antonio. I don't think he has the championships. I don't think he has the star power behind him. But he's so charismatic and he brings people together. And the way he was doing stuff for the Olympic team, the Dream Team, and doing stuff like that, everyone loved Magic Johnson. So I think people would have loved him, but I don't think he would have had the success.
But that's Los Angeles. I don't know that success was Jerry Buss.
But that's why I'm spoiled. I'm from Los Angeles. You're from Los Angeles. Showtime needs to be every time.
Yes.
The last couple of years have not been Showtime, and we're not in a rebuilding year. We're currently in a rebuilding era.
Well,
the Laker fans are not used to that.
So you agree with Magic that
I agree with Magic that you need to win.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not fair that we're putting all the blame on Buss because you're not going to win every year.
We expect that.
But we expect that.
Yeah.
But we, at least if you're not going to win, contend.
Well,
we're not contending.
No. And Magic said in response to Jim Buss's quote, he said, it's all about winning, Jim. And that's true. It is. And so Magic kind of took the high road, although I don't expect him to continue to take the high road. This is going to be a feud. They've had a feud for a few years now. Magic clearly doesn't like Jim Buss. He loved Jerry. Jerry was his mentor. Jerry was his guy. He's not a fan. He loves Jeannie. Everybody knows he's not a huge fan of Jim Buss. I don't think he respects Jim Buss, and Jim Buss knows that. And if you want to piss Laker fans off, you do not mess with Magic Johnson. Dodgers is a whole different story because
I'm not a Magic Johnson
Dodger fan.
As a Dodger fan, as a Dodger fan, I don't like that Magic Johnson has anything to do with my team.
Yeah. But as a Laker fan, if you're a Laker fan, Magic is arguably the greatest Laker of all time. People could make a case for Kobe or Kareem or Wilt or whatever, but Magic is there. I mean, for me, he's the greatest basketball player I ever saw, even better than Jordan because he was an all-around great player. You're too young to know about that. But you don't mess with Magic Johnson. And Jim Buss messing with Magic Johnson, I get what he's saying that, hey, don't bite the hand that feeds you, but Magic has made billions for himself.
All right, if I'm Jim Buss, I say, listen, sir, your opinion on my team went out the window when you sold your shares in 2010.
Okay, that's true. And again, I think people respect Magic's kind of things that he talks about with the Lakers just because he was the greatest Laker or one of them. Should he be saying stuff? I think he's saying stuff because he really wants the Lakers to win. I mean, he's a fan of the Lakers.
We're in Los Angeles, so there's a lot of celebrities that are fans of our teams.
Yeah.
So they, as fans, when they say something, carries a little more weight because they have more Twitter followers. They have a wider spectrum. But when you're a former player / hero / demigod / you have a statue outside of Staples / you won championships here / a fan, then it not only carries weight, it carries like oceans of weight.
Well, all the fans are going to back Magic, and Jim is feeling the pressure, so he's bummed. All right, so let's move on. That's going to be an ongoing story, this Jim and Magic thing. Let's talk about the salary cap. So
salary cap went up to $70 million this year, previously 63, so they got another $7 million to work with. But $25 million is still going to Kobe Bryant. And this is the last year that he's on the payroll officially because he's not been extended, but he's not said, I'm going to retire. I'm not going to retire. I'm still thinking about it. Kobe Bryant's going to be like Brett Favre. Kobe Bryant's going to play till he's 50. And I like Kobe. I love Kobe. Everyone in LA loves Kobe. We thank you for the championships that you brought here. I mean, he was winning championships. The trifecta with him, Shaq, and
Derek Fisher.
Yeah. And that was awesome. And I was going through high school when that was happening, and it was great. And everybody was, playing basketball going, Kobe.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But it's like we talked about it where how long do you stay on your team? And I don't want to say...
Well, I don't think anybody knew these injuries were going to come. I mean, he's had the
But
knees.
age is still there. It doesn't matter if you don't get injured. It's age stops for nobody. Time slows down for nobody.
Torn Achilles. Listen, I had the same injury as Kobe. I feel like I'm very connected to Kobe because I tore my Achilles too, and I ain't playing basketball. I mean, I don't.
You can barely walk. You can barely walk.
No, I can walk, but I mean, I'm not. I definitely am not playing at a high level of any sport right now, and so I'm pretty amazed that he's coming back from that at his age, at the mileage that he has on, plus the other injuries that he had too. I mean, he's had the shoulder.
It seems like every time he attacks the rim, he gets hit in the shoulder and he needs surgery.
I think Kobe knows that father time, mother time, whatever is coming back, is coming for him. He knows it. He's not dumb. He's not.
And it sucks because
he's not Brett Favre in that way, where Brett Favre didn't know when the end was. I think Kobe knows what the end is, although he's not technically
but he's
saying
an athlete. He's an athlete that competes at the highest level. He's one of the greatest athletes his sport has ever known.
He wants to win one more.
So he wants to win another one, but that's what happens. How do you tell an athlete no? How do you say, hey, Kobe, that fire, that passion, that competitive drive, turn it off. You're too old.
Well, I don't think
you can't just turn it off.
And the Lakers can't tell him that because he's given so much to this. I mean, again, the Lakers, talking about a player making a company a lot of money, Kobe has brought a lot of money to the Lakers organization. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to tell. They gave him $25 million bucks.
I'm willing to bet that they gave him that 2-year, $50 million deal because they know how much money he brings. Even if he doesn't play on the court and help produce wins. Just in jersey sales, just in ticket sales, promotional sales, items, all that stuff, Kobe Bryant has paid for himself.
There's no doubt that the contract was terrible. It was it will go down as the worst contract maybe in sports history because it hamstrung our team for it's going to be 5 years.
In a sport that has no salary cap.
Perfect.
The Dodgers can do whatever the hell they want with their money. They can spend money for days.
Lakers can't do that.
But the Lakers, even though, they play in a soft cap league where there's a luxury tax and you're going to have to pay on top of that.
And they have paid on top of it.
And that's what they're doing now. Yeah. So you can't handicap your team. $70 million is the current cap. Last year it was 63. Kobe was 25 of that 63.
Yeah.
This dude is 40%. One player is 40% of your cap space.
He's one of the great players too for the Lakers. Do you pay someone because of their past? That's the problem. Is do you pay a player for for what they did?
I can't do that in a sport that has a salary cap.
Exactly.
You can't.
You can do that in baseball.
It hurts you for years to come. Yeah. And the Lakers are a team that everyone wants to play for because it's Los Angeles. Kind of like the way the Knicks are always really terrible. The Knicks are god awful every year, but they always attract a big name because it's New York. Because they understand that I, as an individual who play as an athlete in a major market, are going to make money from the team and money from endorsements. And, LA has that, but LA has a tradition of winning. So players can come out here. But right now that we're in such a funk, And there's no real direction that the team is going in right now post Kobe era.
So do you think that Kobe, he retires this year, or do you think he hasn't really said that this is going to be his last year? He's kind of keeping it a little, and he could come back next year for maybe, I don't think he'd come back for the veterans minimum, but maybe he comes back for a mid-level, and then they can bring in some. They haven't been able to get the free agents, the big free agents.
I mean, our last big name free agent was Howard, and we all saw how that turned out.
I didn't want him to start with. That was the start of the problem. If they wouldn't have got him, I think we would have been in better shape. But do they attract?
When we brought in Nash got hurt immediately.
Yeah.
And then he sat around and ate payroll for 2 years and did nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, that was bad too. So if Kobe goes down in his salary next year, we'll have like $30 million to pay 2 top free agents. We've got a lot of people on the books next year. We've got all these young players. So, I mean, things are looking better now. We brought in, I mean, do the Lakers make the playoffs this year?
No. I don't not the Western Conference. You can argue that the Western Conference in the NBA is probably the toughest conference, division, what have you, of any sport around.
Yeah, and the Lakers don't need to be that bad this year because, like they did last year, to get their draft pick, to get DAngelo Russell, to get the number 2 pick. This year they don't have that pick, so they don't have to worry about being bad. They don't have to tank.
Tanking.
Which they did. They tanked. They put players on the court that were obviously not going to work well together. They played no defense whatsoever. This year is a different story. I think they'll win more games this year than last year, and they'll be a much, much better team. They're going to be a better defensive team. They're not going to make the playoffs, though. They'll be the number 10 team in the West, but they won't be the number 8.
Generous. I honestly don't think they win more than 30 games. I really don't think they win more than 30 games.
I think they go over 30. Well, okay, so that's the question is, do the Lakers win more games than Kobe plays?
All right, guys, so that's what we're going to ask you, the fans, you Laker fans, or really Laker haters, whatever you want. Let us know on the Twitter, let us know on the YouTube. What's going to be a higher number this season for the Lakers? Number of games that they win or number of games that Kobe plays? That's a real toss-up because I don't see them winning more than 30 games. But at the same time,
he's going to play more than 30 games.
You think he'll play more? You think he'll play half the season?
I think he'll for sure play half the season. I see Kobe playing 50 games. They will not win 50 games.
No,
I see Kobe playing 50. He'll take a bunch of back-to-backs off. There's no reason for him to go to the Texas swing and play in San Antonio and the next night play in Houston. He won't play that second night of a back-to-back. As we get towards the end of the season, though, Kobe will play in more games because if it is truly his last year, it'll be
people are going to want to see him.
People are going to want to see him, and stadiums will pay tribute to him, and they'll give him a rocking chair.
They'll give him the Derek Jeter treatment.
Yeah, he'll have the Derek Jeter, so he'll play, or at least he'll be there and play a few minutes. So I think he plays 50 or 60. He won't go. I don't think he'll go as high as 60 games. I don't think he has a major injury this year, though.
You think he plays more games than Dwayne Wade? Dwayne Wade's another $20 million a year athlete that is beyond his prime, that is not worth that kind of money.
I think they're about the same. I think Wade plays about 50, 55 games, too, which is pretty good. When you think about it, I mean, missing 30 games, that's not bad. I think that's about where Kobe's at. I think the Lakers how many wins did you think they were going to get?
Less than 30.
No, they're going to get higher than that. I think they're going to get 40 wins, but that will get them in 10th.
They're a 500 team?
I think they're about 500 team. They brought. Let's talk about their starting 5. So
the projected starting 5. We have no idea who's in this roster yet.
It's pretty well known who the 5 is. So you've got Clarkson, who's been amazing.
I mean, do you think DAngelo Russell? I know he's their number 1 pick this last draft.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to be the shooting guard? Do you think this is the crossing of the guard where they are like, all right, hey, move over from shortstop to third base?
Yeah. Kobe's playing small forward, and DAngelo Russell's going to go. He's a point guard / shooting guard. So is Clarkson. They both play the same position. Clarkson's a better shooter than DAngelo Russell. So Russell, he's a good distributor. He's like a Chris Paul type distributor, Steve Nash type distributor. He's going to get the ball to people. He's not a great shooter.
But he's had a ton of turnovers. I mean, I know it's preseason.
He's a rookie.
Doesn't mean anything.
Rookies have turnovers.
Right.
That's what he needs to be on the court a lot for. Laker fans have to be ready for a lot of turnovers for Russell and not be upset about it. He's got to learn how to play in the flow of the NBA, and that's going to be turnovers.
But again, we're in Los Angeles. We're spoiled Laker fans. He was the number 2 overall pick, people are going to expect him to be great immediately.
So we got Huertas, the Brazilian, coming here, and he's a rookie, but he's 32, and he has a very low turnover percentage.
He's an NBA rookie.
So he'll be a rookie, but he's going to come in with the second unit, and he's going to calm the team down. And his turnover to assist ratio is very low. Like, he does not have a lot of turnovers. So we're going to balance it out. The thing is, we don't want Kobe to have a lot of turnovers.
Right.
That's the thing. If you have one player having a lot of turnovers, great. That's fine. You can cover it up. But if Nick Young, Swaggy P's having a lot of turnovers, if Kobe's having a lot of turnovers, and both those players always have a lot of turnovers, we got to limit those. Starting five, so we got Clarkson, Russell, Kobe, Randall, and Hibbert. Hibbert was, I think, a good pickup.
Hibbert was the only name I recognized from our signings.
And and some people question that, but he has something to prove because he's had a couple down years but he was great with Indiana 3 years ago. So if he can kind of come back, he's not a great offensive
But that's what
player.
it is. He's getting older as well.
But he's a physical presence. So I think he's good.
His physical presence is getting older, and he's our center, but he's not Shaq. Like, Shaq's
nobody's Shaq, dude.
Right,
and he's not Powell.
As Shaq got older, he stayed in the key longer, but he was still so large and so physical, where he's just kind of like, give me the ball and let me dunk on you.
Well, Hibbert's not
going to
do that. He's not going to do that, but he is a defensive presence. And the last 3 years, the Lakers' defense has been horrendous.
We've been giving up 100 points a game.
Oh, my God. So Hibbert being in there, clogging up the middle, he's a great defensive player. We don't need him to score more than 10 points a night because we've got a lot of scores.
Rebound. You need him to rebound, and you need him to
block
prevent shots.
Yeah, that's it. And just keep people out of the lane. Keep small little point guards from going in there and sneaking around. I mean, people were just going doing whatever they wanted to last year, and Hibbert's going to stop that. Randall's going to be incredible. I think Randall's going to be a really top-tier player, and I love Jordan Clarkson. This kid, he's in his second year now. He is the next Russell Westbrook, I think.
And do you see that? Do you see that Clarkson and Russell they're the Laker future?
They are.
5 years from now, these guys are going to be the guys hanging a banner.
They will be there, and with a Kobe-type scorer, a wing player, those two guys and Randall, this team is going to be back at the top in about. It's going to be, to me, I still think it's going to be 2 to 3 years. So Jim Buss,
2 to 3 years before they're in the playoffs, 2 to 3 years before they win a championship.
2 to 3 years before their championship level. I think they could get to the playoffs next year, depending on who they bring in with all that salary cap with Kobe.
Because as of right now, next year, assuming Kobe doesn't come back, they have $23 million.
And they have these.
That's it. They only $23 million.
Yeah, and that's great. And all these players will be coming back.
Right, with the exception of Kobe.
With the exception of Kobe,
and Meta, who isn't officially on the roster, but he's only getting paid, I think, $1.5 million.
Meta is like
he's like an additional coach on the court.
He's like a coach. Who would have thought? Ron Artest becoming a mentor.
Meta world peace.
Meta world peace.
That's why he dropped the Ron Artest. Bad press.
Yeah. So Meta coming back. I mean, he's not going to do a lot for you, but he's going to have a stabilizing presence. He's like a coach on the floor, just like Kobe, just like Hibbert. He's going to be able to mentor the young players, and I think that's great. So I think Meta's going to be on the team. He'll play 10 minutes a night. He won't play a lot. You're not going to give a 32. You're not going to give a washed up player that many minutes, but he'll come out in key points where they need to with the second unit, and he'll do well. So I think this team is going to be interesting. We've got a lot to talk about this season. We're going to, Laker fans, get ready because it's going to be a fun season. There's always a lot.
I think it's going to be a depressing season.
I don't think it's. No, I think it's going to be fun to watch these young players develop.
Well, okay, that's cool because this year, like you said, it's a rebuilding year. So this year, when they miss the playoffs, you can say, "Hey, they played better than last year."
Yes, that's
a building. It's a stepping stone.
I think that's okay. I think most Laker fans are okay with that.
I don't think so.
I think this year they are. Next year they won't be.
Next year, definitely next year they won't be because they'll say, "Hey, these guys have been in the league now 3 years. What gives?"
Yeah. So what's our gift of the day?
All right, guys, our gift of the day. You guys may remember this. This is Nick Young throwing up a three. It goes in, goes out. He thinks it's in, and then realizes that it's not. And that was the epitome of the Lakers last year. I feel it's going to be them this year.
I don't.
Curtis doesn't, but hopefully this year is going to be a great stepping stone, rebuilding block that can also attract free agents for the next summer and bring in some stuff during the trade. Maybe Bus does some crazy stuff at the trade with Kupchak.
Maybe.
And maybe this year the Lakers are like on the cusp, on the bubble, being a number 8, number 7 team, and they do some insane trade. Maybe. And that gets them into the playoffs.
Maybe.
All right, guys, but that's our episode for today. Don't forget to stalk us on Twitter @BestCoastShow. That's our show. You guys have a good night.